There comes a time where most of us, many times actually, when we look at our lives and realize that something just isn't right or something needs to be realigned. We realize that something is missing or we are doing too much of something that is taking too much of our time. Ultimately, we realize that whatever is wrong, whatever is misaligned, needs to be evaluated and corrected in order for us to fulfill our greatest endeavors and fulfill our greatest achievements and efforts in life. Not only for today, but what we do today impacts our subsequent future as well. I want to talk about 5 steps to obtaining holistic renewal in our lives. There are many elements of our lives that, when they are misaligned, they negatively interfere with the other aspects and elements of our lives. The 5 elements, steps if you will, that I want to discuss today include our mind, that is the mental area. Many see it as the navigation. Our spiritual area, our relationship with God, our physical area, including what we intake as well as what we exert, also known as diet and exercise. And also, lastly but definitely not leastly, our social area, also known as our relationship with others. If any of these areas are messed up or balanced improperly, it will affect other areas. Let's talk now about the first step. Our mental makeup is considered by most to be the ultimate navigation for everything that we do. I do know that it is definitely a large influence on everything that we do, what is in our minds. It is important that the intentions that we have in our minds are aligned with the actions that we take and the decisions that we make. It's important that our energy, our focus remains consistent with the goals that we have decided in our minds. If we do not take the time, effort, and energy to place intentions in our minds and make decisions regarding those intentions, we will be very confused and live in a very passive, disoriented, unorganized, and possibly even dysfunctional and low-achieving life. So the first step in holistic renewal is to review our intentional life goals. If we cannot identify our intentional life goals, then that means we need to develop such goals for our lives, which may include even placing intention behind what we're already giving energy and efforts toward. We may be doing what we want to place intention behind, but just haven't made an active decision regarding what we're doing. We're just going through the motions. Our intentions should be aligned with how we spend our time and give any and all of our energy. The second step for holistic renewal is conducting a spiritual inventory of our lives. We can do this by asking ourselves certain questions and exploring those responses. Now, our spiritual aspect, our spiritual makeup, many of us want to be the navigation of our lives and what we do. So it's a very tricky act to align that mental makeup, what's in our mind, with our spiritual makeup. Because if those are not aligned, oftentimes many of us will see ourselves playing out what is in our mental makeup and not being aligned with what we believe is right, what's in our spiritual makeup. But getting back to those certain questions that we should ask ourselves and exploring those responses to them. One question is, how is our current relationship with God? When was the last time that we spoke with Him? When was the last time that we listened to God? And there is a difference between speaking and listening to God. How often do we speak to God? How often do we listen to God? When was the last time that we took the effort to thank God and show our gratitude for what He has given us? Other important questions include, how authentic are we living our lives? Does the way we spend time align with what we claim to be the important priorities in our lives? Do we do what we say is important to do? Do we refrain from doing what we say is important for us not to do? Are we honest with others regarding what is important to us, regarding what we do? Does our character, our regular habits reflect what we believe that we should be doing, that they should reflect? Do we have the right balance in our lives? Are we placing the right value on people and things in our lives, in the right order, that is? These are questions that we should be asking. Now, the third step to holistic renewal is to take an inventory of our physical intake. That is the food that we take and the diet that we regularly practice from day to day. What do we eat, essentially? Many people have different rules regarding what they choose to eat on a regular basis. Some people, they eat whatever they want to eat, whenever they want to eat it, whatever their heart and emotions desire, that's what they're going to have. Some people don't eat meat. They choose to not eat certain types of meat, whether it's beef or pork. Others don't eat gluten or wheat. They don't think that it's good for them and their energy or their physical makeup. Whatever physical intake or diet that you choose to align yourself with, just ensure that it's aligned with the goals of your life. And that's essentially with any decisions that you make. For example, if you choose to eat 500 more calories than your body needs on a daily basis, then you should also be choosing to have a heavier physical package. If you choose to eat 500 fewer calories on a daily basis than your body physical makeup needs, then your goal should be to have a physical makeup that is malnourished and lacking full strength and energy. There are health risks whenever you undereat or overeat, and so you need to keep those in mind with regard to what you want for your body and for your life. When we make a decision to do either one, whether it's to overeat or to undereat, we need to be adults and accept the health risks that are associated with those respective choices. There are many types of food to eat, like we had mentioned, meat. There's protein that comes from meat, obviously. There are also non-meat proteins, vegetables, fruit, starches, refined carbohydrates, fiber, milk products, and other types of food. It's important to be aware of how these different types of foods affect our bodies. There are general benefits and cons to eating certain foods, and definitely cons to eating too much of them. Every person's body is different, therefore some of our bodies are more sensitive to some of these foods than others. Some of us may even be allergic to some of these foods. So it's important to observe and study how your body, your specific body, reacts to these different types of foods so that you know the best way for you to eat and how much of each type of food to eat. What balance of foods give you the most energy? What balance of foods give you the most for your body make? What is healthier for your body? What balance is going to give you the best energy and longevity of your body and strength and essentially the body makeup that you're looking for? The fourth step of holistic renewal is taking an inventory of our physical exertion. So that's how often do we exercise? How much do we exercise? Some people need to exercise 3 times a week. Some people need to exercise 5 times a week. Some people need to exercise for an hour a day. Some people need to exercise for 30 minutes a day. It's important to exercise and sweat. It helps to build physical strength, energy, and endurance. It also helps to clean out toxins from our bodies. It helps us to maintain healthy emotional balance by increasing endorphins that give us positive energy and feelings. The 5th step to holistic renewal is to review our relationships. Just as working out can give us positive energy and feelings, so can the right relationships and managing the relationships in the correct manner. What relationships do you currently have in your life? What are the relationships in your home and your work environment? at your church, your extended family, your friends, your civic organizations. You need to really sit down and think about the relationships that you have with these individuals and these organizations. How do they make you feel? Do you feel good when you go in the presence of these individuals or into these organizations? Do they help you to achieve your intentional goals that you have set for your life? And how important are the relationships to you? Do you contribute and give your best in those relationships? Or do you put them on the wayside? Do you receive appropriately in those relationships? We should be able to answer those questions about any and all of the relationships that we have. And we also should be able to rank the importance of our relationships among individuals and organizations of our lives. And yes, I did say that. We should be able to rank it. It may sound cold. However, that is a very powerful way for you to recognize how you're giving your time and energy and compare it to how you should be giving your time and energy, because you only have but so much. Despite what many say, you only have but so much time and energy. When we look at our relationships, we should be able to identify how they can improve. Is there something that we should do to contribute more to specific relationships? And are there specific relationships that are very important, however, we need to request more from them? We should make the best effort to make our highest priority relationships the best that they absolutely can be. In completing our 5 steps of holistic renewal, we must make sure that our mental and our spiritual goals are aligned. This is primary first and foremost. We have to ensure that what we believe, what we feel is right, is aligned with the intentional goals that we set. We should review all of the elements of our lives, all of those 5 elements that we've discussed, and make sure that they align with our mental and spiritual goals. We must ensure that our focus and our intent is aligned with what we believe that we should be doing. This renewal process is not a once-in-a-lifetime exercise. This renewal process should be reviewed with some regularity. It should definitely be reviewed when you know that your life is not achieving what you believe that it should be. We must make a continuous effort to be in tune with ourselves and in tune with what we are creating in our lives.